Good evening.
Corey Stites,
Here.
Janice Hoppy,
Present.
Leah Dozeman,
Here.
Rachel Holteen,
Present.
Dan Holteen,
Present.
Dan Larson.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Counselors, in your packet, you have a number of city council meeting minutes and study session notes. We have meeting minutes for June 9th, June 23rd, July 14th, and July 28th. We have study session notes for June 16th, July 7th, July 21, all of 2025. Are there any corrections to be noted in the minutes? Counselor Dozeman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to note that on July 21st, 2025, it indicates that Councilmember Hoppy and I were absent, but we were both here and sitting next to each other, actually. So I believe it was actually Councilmember Weaver and Ohm absent. I can't say for sure, but for the study session. Okay.
Okay. Are there any further corrections to be noted? So we will have the clerk make those notations and express that with a thanks to the clerk. We are now at the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to be noted in the agenda tonight? Seeing none, we will move with the agenda as prepared. We only have one item in our proclamations. We are going to swear in a new deputy city clerk, and I would like to invite our senior deputy city clerk, Margie Greer, to administer the oath. So,
Thank you. I'm going to have a face council in the audience. Thank you for allowing me to do this. This is an introduction of our new deputy city clerk. So after I swear her in, I've asked her to just take a few minutes and introduce herself to all of you.
very good. Thank you.
So, Honorina Maloney, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to support the Constitution and laws of the United States, of the state of Colorado, and the charter and ordinances of the city, and strive to be responsive to all citizens of the city, and faithfully perform the duties of the office of Deputy City Clerk, which you are about to enter? Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, council members, and members of our community, thank you for the privilege of serving as your deputy city clerk. I'm grateful for your trust and energized by the opportunity to support a city that leads with integrity, transparency, and heart. This moment is part of a journey shaped by years of public service and a belief in the quiet strength of good governance. I'm especially honored to serve alongside Margie Greer, our senior deputy city clerk. Her wisdom, dedication, and grace are a gift to the office and to the city of Wheat Ridge. As poet Mary Oliver once asked, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And for me, the answer is clear: to serve with purpose, to lead with kindness, and to nurture trust and mutual respect in all that we do. Thank you again for this opportunity, and let's get to work together. Thank you again.
We are now at our public's right to speak. This is when members of the public may speak on any item that is not on the agenda. I have no one signed up to speak in City Hall, but I have one member of the public joining us online. David Swalm, if you are able to hear us, if you would please unmute and introduce yourself. Please give us your first name and your last name. If you'd please spell your last name for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to address the council. So if you're here, please introduce yourself.
Mayor, I don't see that he has signed in yet.
Okay. Then we will conclude our public's right to speak and go to agenda item number 1. This is our consent agenda. Councilwoman Snell, would you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mayor. I will. This is this is item number 1A. Resolution 37-2025, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Wheat Ridge and the Colorado Department of Transportation to establish maintenance responsibilities for the Wadsworth Boulevard Path project. At issue, the city has entered into an intergovernmental agreement with CDOT for the construction of a sidewalk on the west side of Wadsworth Boulevard between 32nd and 35th Avenues. A separate intergovernmental agreement is required between the parties for long-term maintenance responsibilities of the improvements. And then we also have item 1B. This is resolution 38-2025, a resolution authorizing the appropriate city officials to execute an intergovernmental agreement by and between the County of Jefferson, State of Colorado, and the City of Wheat Ridge, Colorado, regarding the administration of their respective duties concerning the conduct of the coordinated election to be held on November 4th, 2025. At issue, the City of Wheat Ridge will participate in a coordinated election on November 4th, 2025. The attached resolution and intergovernmental agreement must be executed and forwarded to Jefferson County by Tuesday, August 26, 2025. The documents refer to the respective duties of the county and the City of Wheat Ridge regarding the administration of their respective duties concerning the conduct of the coordinated election.
Thank you. This is our consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda item 1A and 1B?
You can. I move to approve Resolution 37-2025, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Wheat Ridge and the Colorado Department of Transportation to establish maintenance responsibilities for the Wadsworth Boulevard Path project.
And you can just make it
And-
1B.
And one, sorry, say that again.
You can just, I move to approve agenda item 1A and 1B.
I move to approve agenda items 1A and 1B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the clerk please poll the council?
All ayes, no nays, motion carries.
Thank you. We will go to agenda item number 2. Mayor Pro Tem Stites, would you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council Bill number 15-2025, an ordinance submitting a ballot question to the voters of the city at the November 4th, 2025 regular municipal election to amend the Wheat Ridge Home Rule Charter to eliminate offices of the elected clerk and the elected city treasurer. At issue, Chapter 3 of the city's charter establishes that there shall be an elected city clerk, Section 3.7 through 3.8, and an elected city treasurer, Section 3.9 through 3.10. Council is proposing a charter amendment to the Wheat Ridge electorate that eliminates the elected roles of the clerk and treasurer at the November 4th, 2025 municipal election.
Thank you. This is an ordinance on first reading to set the date, time, and location for a public hearing. May I have a motion on this item?
Yes, you may. I move to approve Council Bill number 15-2025, an ordinance submitting a ballot question to the voters of the city at the November 4th, 2025 regular municipal election to amend the Wheat Ridge Home Rule Charter to eliminate offices of the elected city clerk and the elected city treasurer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Councilor Ohm. Would the clerk please poll the council?
All ayes, no nays, motion carries.
Thank you. We will go now to agenda item number 3. Councilor Ohm, would you please introduce this item?
Thank you, Mayor. Council Bill 16-2025, an ordinance approving the sale of city-owned real property and authorizing execution of an agreement for the same. At issue, the city has the opportunity to sell a property known as the Town Center Park located at 4084 Wadsworth Boulevard Town Center Park, a 0.7 acre parcel purchased in 1982, was closed in 2020 due to safety concerns when it became a magnet for unwelcome behavior and was no longer serving as its intended use as a gathering space for the shopping center. The sale of the parcel, combined with another 0.5 acre site acquired as part of the Wadsworth Improvement Project, has long been the city's intention once the Wadsworth construction was nearing completion. Section 16.5 of the city charter states that the unanimous approval of the entire council by ordinance shall be necessary for sale or disposition of the designated parkland.
Thank you. This is an ordinance on first reading to set the date, time, and location for a public hearing on this item. Counselor Ohm, may I have a motion on this item?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Council Bill 16-2025, an ordinance approving the sale of city-owned real property and authorizing execution of agreement for the same. Order published, public hearing set for Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. as a virtual meeting and in City Council Chambers, 7500 West 29th Avenue, and that it takes 15 days after final publication as provided by Section 5.11 of the Charter.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Counselor Dozman. Would the clerk please poll the council?
All ayes, no nays, motion carries.
Thank you. We will go to agenda item number 4. Counselor Hulteen, would you please introduce this item?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce Council Bill 17, 2025, an ordinance approving the sale of city-owned real property and authorizing execution of an agreement for the same at issue. The city has the opportunity to sell property acquired through the Improved Wadsworth project, known as the former Railberto site. This commercial property, located at 4084 Wadsworth Boulevard, is approximately 1/2 acre. It was purchased by the city in order to facilitate the widening of Wadsworth Boulevard. The sale of this parcel, combined with another 0.7 acre former parkland site, has long been the city's intention once the Wadsworth construction was nearing completion. Section 16.5 of the city charter states that the city shall not sell or dispose of municipally owned buildings or real property for a public purpose without first obtaining the approval by ordinance of 3/4 of the entire council.
Thank you. This is an ordinance on first reading to set the date, time, and location for a public hearing. May I have a motion on this item?
I was so eager to vote on it. I move to approve Council Bill 17, 2025, an ordinance approving the sale of city-owned real property and authorizing execution of an agreement for the same. Order it published, public hearing set for Monday, August 25th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. as a virtual meeting and in council chambers, 7500 West 29th Avenue, and that it takes effect 15 days after final publication as provided in Section 511 of the Charter.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Counselor Hoppy. Would the clerk please poll the council?
All ayes, no nays, motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes our action items for tonight's meeting. We will now go to City Manager's Matters. Mr. Goff.
Thank you, Mayor. One quick item. I'm proud to announce that the Wheat Ridge Police Department was successfully reaccredited by the Commission on Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies this last weekend in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is a rigorous process that requires the department to demonstrate continued compliance with hundreds of standards that provide best practices related to life, health, and safety procedures for the agency. So just congratulations to them. That's it.
Okay. City Attorney's Matters, Mr. Dahl.
Nothing other than to ask that you take a motion to go in executive session after you concluded the elected officials matters.
Okay, thank you. We will go to elected officials matters. Let's start with Counselor Hulteen.
Thank you, Mayor. First, just congratulations to everyone who made 2025 yet another successful Carnation Festival. The parade was a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about pools for a minute. I just want to thank the Parks and Recreation Department. Hosted a pool party at Anderson Park pool on Tuesday last week, and the intent was to bring together community stakeholders and people in our community who, across generations, have really found tremendous value and appreciation for our existing outdoor pool. It really is a jewel of the city and an asset, and I think part of something that makes me really proud to call Wheat Ridge home, and it's a place I spend a lot of time swimming. So we have a long road ahead of us. I was really encouraged to hear that preliminary feedback that we're hearing from the survey is overwhelmingly in favor of rebuilding the pool. So we have a lot of steps before we can get there, but just remaining committed to staying engaged both with our staff and with our community members to make sure Wheat Ridge is a swimmy place today and tomorrow. And on that note, I will just make a note that the pool at the rec center is closing this Saturday and will be closed through the 29th of August. But the good news is Anderson Pool is open on the next 2 weekends. So please find a place to splash around while summer is still here. Thanks.
Thank you. Counselor Snell.
Thank you, Mayor. Last week was busy and a lot of good stuff going on in our community. I also attended the pool party meeting. Lots of great feedback there. Some excellent stories of how a lot of our residents are very connected to the pool. Lots of history there. So I do feel like our Parks and Rec department is approaching that in a great way. Also, last week, National Night Out. Excellent time there. Always fun. I like to see the kids sitting in the in a patrol vehicle with the using the siren and watch their parents and see how long it takes before they're like, okay, that's enough. It was great though. I did learn a really interesting fact I'm really proud, and I think we can all be proud of, chatting with Alex Rose, talking about some of the other trainings that our officers go through. Fun fact, and this is really great, over 70% of our officers right now have gone through mental health crisis intervention training. And I think that is huge. I know that we partner a lot with Jefferson Center for Mental Health, but for our officers to have gone through that training and use those tactics during mental health crisis calls, really important for our community. And I think that is fantastic that our department is focusing on that, and that it's such a high number, and they're not going to stop till they get to 100. So that's wonderful. And then moving on to our weekend, the Carnation Festival weekend is always such an amazing community gathering. I saw folks that I hadn't seen in months, and I saw them like 3 times a weekend. And it's like, oh, I see you again. It was great. And I was so proud to be part of our group in the parade. Got to help out with a car show and give out an award on Sunday. Really beautiful vehicles, lots of passion there. And I just am really, really impressed by our Carnation Festival committee and all the work that they do, because I know it's a large lift, and it is just an amazing event every year, and brings our community together, and it brings so many folks from outside our community here for a lot of fun. So kudos, and already counting down for next year. So that's what I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Dozeman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just echo some of the similar comments. My family and I had a really wonderful time. In effect, a lot more. Also, it was my honor to be the parade chair for the Carnation Festival again this year. This was my 9th year, and it was one of my favorites by far. We tried a lot of new things, and it went smoothly and was a really wonderful time. Having lived in Wheat Ridge my entire life, I've always gone to the Carnation Festival, and so it's lovely to be a part of that event and bring it back to the community. There's so much energy and enthusiasm and so much work done, and a lot of it supports our service organizations. So the Rotary, the Optimist Club, the Kiwanis, as well as the Wheat Ridge High School with the Big Wheels on the Farm. Thank you to all of the board members that participated and volunteered hundreds and hundreds of hours to make that happen. But it really wouldn't be possible without the city's support and for the budget that you all allow. And so I really want to thank not only city staff, but Wheat Ridge Police Department, Public Works, and Parks and Rec, because it is a huge undertaking, and they all show up and they all do a wonderful job at supporting the event. So it really is, it took a village, and it was a wonderful event. So thank you. Oh, and congratulations to our Grand Marshal, Mayor Bud Starker. Yes. It was wonderful to honor you this year.
Thank you. Counselor Larson.
Thank you, Mayor. And yeah, like most other folks, just now coming down from the sugar high that comes with Carnation Fest. It was my first time walking in the parade, and that was so much fun. I handed out 5 bags of candy, and so there were plenty of kids with sugar highs running around. But what I appreciated, though, is when I would hand the pieces of candy to the outstretched hands, I had an opportunity to stop and say hello to mom and dad. And just that little bit of, eye-to-eye contact. And then I'd stop by where some older person was, enjoying the parade and kind of interrupt what their train of thought was and say hello and just kind of try to make these sort of one-on-one connections with the people. Everybody was having a ball. That was just so much fun for me. On Sunday, my second favorite part of the Carnation Fest is the Big Wheels on the Farm, which is a fundraiser, and that funds raised in that event go to Wheat Ridge High School. And my favorite, although it didn't win, was the mid-60s Mercury Cyclone convertible. Was just beautiful. But yeah, my experience at the Carnation Fest. Thanks.
Thank you. Counselor Ohm.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, it's really busy that week. I'm going to try to keep mine as brief as I can. So the National Night Out, that was really great. I had a lot of conversations with the police department, and had some conversations about we always have issues with people running red lights, and talking to the chief of advocating for we need to get that, and it sounds like that's they're working on that, and that there's still a lot of tickets. I hope everybody understands that as schools around the corner, we need to slow down. And then I did have a conversation with some people about the Victims Outreach Incorporated, that they're having a fundraiser on August 23rd at Beers Brews in Denver. And I think that's a really good thing to support. And what they do is they go out, when there's, fatalities and victims, and they help support them. And so they're having their annual fundraiser on that. And then the mayor's reception, it's always a delight to see everybody there. It's such a nice function. Every time I go there, the company is really great. I always do feel, though, that place is just so underutilized. It's a wonderful event, and we just need to advocate more. Weddings or something there. It's a really nice place. Being in the building, looking at the building, it's a great place. And then, walking in the Carnation Parade, I think I set a new record. I only went through 2 bags this time. But I did appreciate staff saying, like, hey, Scott, you need to, instead of throwing the candy, you got to hand them out. And I did that for quite a while, but it's a lot more fun when the kids are they get excited when there's a little bit of candy on the curb. So I started doing some of that, but it's always fun, and really appreciate staff, listening to us, as far as, what they put on the T-shirt, that our vision mission statement. I think that's really important, and something that Councilmember Snell has talked about is, can we make those T-shirts available, to purchase? I think that's an interesting idea, and then using those funds for something. I think it's a really good message. And then Carnation Festival, it's always, it's so interesting to see that people, there's a lot of people I don't know, because they come from, it's a huge draw regionally. And, but it's nice to see the people, the friends that we have, and the police department, the committee does a fantastic job of getting everything squared away. I didn't see any issues. Everything was super smooth. Parking is always tough, but that's just the Carnation Festival, and the police department does their best. It was a very safe environment. I saw that, the drone in the air that, is kind of keeping an eye and make sure everything's, good behavior. I thought it was a good event. I've only heard positive things about it. So thank you, Councilmember Dozeman, for all your work. And everybody else. I know it's a lot of work. It's a village. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Weaver.
Thank you, Mayor. My activities with the Wheat Ridge Carnation Festival were a little curbed this year because I just wanted to thank Lutheran because I had to go into the emergency room over the weekend. because, and I just kind of wanted to warn everybody, it's just hot and a wasp got me and my arm ended up swelling up, and it's, just really happy to go into the new emergency room, and everything was really nice. So I just wanted to thank Lutheran for that. And I did catch different parts of the festival, and it was really fun. Thank you for all the planning that goes into it. Councilor Dozman, I know you put a lot of effort into that. And Mayor, congratulations for being the Grand Marshal.
Thank you. Councilor Hoppy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And yes, the Carnation Festival was fantastic. I think my favorite part about it is that it's an opportunity for a lot of our service clubs to fundraise and to make some money for their clubs. They spend that money in our community with supporting our students on all levels from elementary to high school. It gives the high school opportunities for fundraising, both for the football and for the music programs. I was in the chili cook-off this year. We raised $900 for the Senior Resource Center. So, which is really fantastic. I'm not sure, I know that the baking contest was also very popular. I'm not sure what those donations went to, but again, it's an opportunity for a lot of our nonprofits in the area to be able to make some money over that weekend. So thank you to that board. Thank you, Councilwoman Dozman, Joe DeMott, Treasurer Miller, Dominic Breeden. There's many people on that board, and they meet all year long to get that job done. And then I just want to say congratulations to my daughter who won the chili cook-off, the People's Choice, with her vegan chili. So
Very, very good. Congratulations. Mayor Pro Tem Stites.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like most of us, I started out the week at National Night Out with our police officers out here, and we have the best police department in the country. I stand by that 100%. Our officers are great with kids, and when we talk about community policing, it starts there. It starts with getting our kids to trust these police officers and know why they're in this community, and it's not for them to be in trouble, right? It's to keep them safe. And my kids absolutely had a blast exploring the command vehicle, all the cars, taking a look at the drones with Sergeant Bowman. Absolutely phenomenal, and all the kids in the community have that opportunity, and it's really great to see our officers out there and get to know the SROs that are going into their schools and stuff this year, and it's going to be a really great school year. I'm excited. I can see it in everybody's faces. The mayor's reception the other night was second to none as well. The Richards Heart Estate is, I agree with Councilor Ohm, a phenomenal place, but it's always fun. I think the Carnation Festival for me and probably Councilor Dozman, because we both grew up here, is kind of a mix between a family reunion, a class reunion, people that we knew growing up. I always get to see former mayors, former councilors. Talking to Gretchen Cerveni on Thursday night at the mayor's reception. I believe she's 93, and sorry, Gretchen, I don't want to give away your age, but and absolutely on it, knows everything that's going on in the city, and it's that care. Talking to Larry Merkel on Saturday, who was a 17-year city councilor, started when he was 28 with my grandfather a long time ago, and just hearing how excited he is for some of the things that are going on in the city, and understanding from our older generations, the people who came before us, this job can be fairly difficult, and our community supports us, but there's always kind of been that, and finding that right balance, and it's really great to talk to those people, and the Historical Society people, and Betty Jo Page, and all those people, getting to know that history of Wheat Ridge. I hope that counselors that are hoping to be up here on the dais, I hope those people get the opportunity to go and speak with people like Claudia Worth and hear those stories about what it's like to be up here and what it's like for our city as we continue to move on to the next chapter. The Carnation Festival was absolutely phenomenal. The parade, and I know the staging was new this year, I thought it was actually great because Personal Achievement Martial Arts, my business in the community, we bring, I think we had probably 100 people walking with us. And the unfortunate thing about that is we never get to see the parade. It's always gone by the time we get done. But we actually got to see all those entries and see all those people. And my students absolutely loved it. I want to give a shout out to them. They won the Countess Award for enthusiasm and their performances. So did a phenomenal job. Again, Mayor Starker and the Castle family were absolutely phenomenal as royalty. Got a chance to talk to Jerry and his wife a little bit in the VIP tent this weekend, and you talk about history again in Wheat Ridge, and that's super important. So big shout out to the Carnation Festival, the fireworks. Thank goodness we're back again this year. I know we all missed them last year, but that was 2 nights of amazing fireworks and great shows, and the bands were great, and everybody did a great job. So Councilor Dozman, Joe DeMont, Chris Miller, Dominic, the Pettits. Councilor Hoppy talked about how this feeds all of our schools, our Optimist service clubs. I saw a couple members of the service clubs this morning at the bank dragging in a big bag of money. Almost looked like they were robbing the bank, but they were bringing it in, so it was okay. And that's going to sustain them for the rest of the year. So it was also great to see. Sorry, I'm going to talk a lot tonight because I'm really excited about it, and we've got, it's a 30-minute meeting, we can do it. But Wheat Ridge High School and their support for a while there, Wheat Ridge High School was like absent from the Carnation Festival, and it was great to see all the sports teams, the cheerleaders, the band, everybody was out there, and I think that's a tribute to Lisa Mahana and what she's doing up at the farm. So make sure you take a look at Wheat Ridge High School. Moving on to what's going on this week. This Saturday, Local Works is doing, I believe, their 3rd TLC cleanup event. It's at St. James Church. It's this Saturday. It starts at 8 a.m. and it goes until dumpsters are full. So get out there and get all your stuff out of here before winter comes and you got to go get new stuff for Christmas and all that. And all those businesses that were in the Carnation Festival this weekend, there was a lot of local businesses out there. Make sure you get out, support them. Businesses on Wadsworth, as we're wrapping up the Wadsworth construction project, they can use your business, pierogi factories, all those businesses and restaurants down on Wadsworth. Get out there and support them. So shop local, and if you can find it by in Wheat Ridge. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I want to start by a big thank you. I was really honored to be named Grand Marshal, right? I think that's the title, and it was really a thrill. It was a thrill for me, and I really appreciate Leah and all of your help and Councilor Hoppy to help my wife Mary and I, ride a 1923 Model T, and we had a great time. What impressed me so much was the life going down the 38th Avenue, all the folks that were there, a lot of young people, a lot of older people, but just a lot of great enthusiasm and really a lot of fun going on there. The other thing I wanted to remark on is sort of the life that we've imbued into the street itself, the new businesses, the updating of buildings and stuff along the street. It just had a great presence, and I think that's really a credit to, the work that we've done as a council and as a community to make that happen. Over at Anderson Park, it was really a great afternoon. I was over there Saturday afternoon, and lots of excitement there. We had the chili cook-off, we had a pie contest, we had bands playing and people having a good time. So it tells you what a really great community we have that can come together and have a lot of fun, good, clean, honest fun, and everybody was really having a great time. I want to say a special thank you to Joe DeMont, the chair of the committee, and Leah Dozman, the festival parade chair. Did a great time organizing it and putting it all together. We really had a lot of volunteer effort from all of our community engaged partners in the thing. The Kiwanis, and it plays a big part in that, and I want to thank them, and also all of our staff at the city, our administrative staff, public works, parks, and the police department, really working together to make this all happen. So thank you all very much. I think that kind of concludes my remarks. And so before we adjourn, I would like to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Stites.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to go into executive session for the conference with the city manager, city attorney, and appropriate staff under Charter Section 5.7B1 and CRS 24-6-402 4B and E for legal advice and to instruct negotiations in connection with potential mediation, Concrete Works Colorado contract claim. I further move to adjourn the open meeting at the conclusion of the executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would the clerk please poll the council?
All ayes, no nays, motion carries.
Okay, that concludes our meeting tonight here in this chamber. We will adjourn to another room for our executive session. Thank you.